Welcome to a Timespinner Randomizer race here on SpeedGaming Live, Channel 5. I am Mama, and I am joined by Waffle Soup for commentary. We have WindFaeMaiden on the left here, and weffjebster on the right. This is a elimination match. Whoever wins this continues on. Whoever loses this is just gonna have to not worry about Timespinner ever again, because they're knocked out of the race.
Yep. This is a loser's quarterfinal, to be specific.
Mm-hmm. We also have a German or Deutsch restream, SpeedGaming Deutsch. We have Batty Mass Index over there providing German commentary, which I am sure that if you speak German is just as good as the one over here. And I assume most of the people here know what this is, but Timespinner is a nice little Metroidvania developed by mostly just one person named Bodhi Lee, and Yarno made a lovely randomizer for it, and we get to see it here today. Blade Orb, what do you think of that start, Waffle?
That's a little awkward.
Crimson Vortex, oof.
Yeah, this is a bad start. Blade
It
Orb
could be worse.
Low. And all of the enemies in the starting area resist it. So.
Could be worse. Could be a lot better.
Be worse.
Could be a lot better. And I think most things resist the Crimson Vortex spell they got too. Chaos type. I think most things resist that.
Yeah, and that's also just slow moving as well, so everything's slow right now.
You can move around while the vortex is going, so there's at least that. We have them going through this first area, and they're going to be looking for a way to get to the past. Right now we are in the present. This game has 2 time zones, and you get to jump between the 2 of them, but there are some things we need to do in the past before we can get to end game. Either they're going to find the Twin Pyramid Keys, which will give them direct access to the past via one of the fast warp locations, or they have to find both the spindle and the wheel and the D key card. Yeah, I think that's what all 3 that they need in order to get to the past a more complicated way.
Yep, that's correct.
Just live in the moment, man. We're in the present. My hippie heritage showing through. We've had quite a lot of interesting seeds here. D key card. Oh boy, that's not. They need that.
A start.
They need that.
You need that to beat the game, and they also. That's not a good sign.
Yeah, they're gonna be hoping for that Twin Pyramid Key before they get to the area past the library, because it's a bit nasty to navigate that area until they get something else first, but they technically can. And no one likes the route technically possible in randomizers. We have Weff here. I'm going to switch over to him. Fighting the very first bots, the Feline Sentry, who is a strong boy. Boots here, who we call affectionately Boots based on his voice actor Kitty Cat. Resists a lot of things, is weak to nothing. Just like his real-life counterpart. A strong boy. Boots was a real big cat. He got up to like 16 pounds, not overweight. He was a real big boy.
Dang.
Lived till about 13 or 14, I think. It was just this last year he passed away. But he had a nice long life. Big boy. Caught all the mice that got inside the house. Luckily, though, Blade Orb does have a good base damage. So even though the enemies resist them, they do hit pretty hard. They're slower, but they have a good strength to them.
Mm-hmm.
So making fast work of boots here, moving through the annoying part of the sewers.
Also, I realized they both don't have a chance of getting a weird bug with boots, where you don't quite get his drop,
Right.
because that only happens if you don't have Blade Orb, which is what you get from them in vanilla.
Yeah. Weird bug in the rando, don't pay any attention to it. We got the Twin Pyramid keys, so that means they have the easier access to the past. We'll see which random warp got opened up in just a second. But because they have the B key card and Jin Inferno from the Librarian, they're going to explore a little bit in the library and then head to the past.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, the Twin Pyramid keys are also a form of fast travel. They can easily get between any warp gates that they visit, which makes getting around and going between the past and the present much easier.
Was it WindFae's last seed that didn't have the pyramid keys till very late?
Yes.
I'm sure she's very happy to see that now. We see WindFae using the teleport so that you have to use a teleport at least once in order to actually use these fast travel warp shards. Many a runner has gotten buried deep inside of a long progression, only to realize they didn't use a warp and cannot use the warp shard to get back out. Now the question becomes, do they continue on into Varndegroth Tower, or do they go into the castle? We have Weff here going into the castle in the past, doing the basement loop, which is kind of a nice, easy loop, especially when you're a little low level. We did pick up the lab coat, which is a good damage boost. Not so good on the defense, though. Oh, that was a good call. Elevator keycard is something that makes the towers, which WindFae is going to, much easier to progress through. WindFae did this once before, checking out Varndegroth's tower before going to the past, and accidentally had to bail out early because she did not use that warp, so I think she's thinking about that past race, where if she had just committed to it, she would have gotten something really good.
Mm-hmm. Nice early route divergence. Nothing in the basement loop except for the elevator keycard. So now Weff is going to head to the left, do some more checks, mainly looking for some form of vertical progression.
Alright, and then there is nothing on the left side of Varndegroth Tower, and that's as far as WindFae can go. Taking a warp shard back out, not too bad. Weff did get Merchant Crow's stash. There wasn't anything in it, just some stuff-ups and ethers. WindFae going through the basement loop, so she's going to get that elevator key card. Yeah, it's probably going to hurt a little bit for WindFae, but since she does not have the C key card, it's not that much of a facepalm moment. The C key card is something that locks you out from the left and right sides, can't get from one side to the other. Or the B card, which will take you along the bottom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Finding just the elevator key card here only unlocks one additional check, so not that big of a deal to leave that behind.
Probably still stings just a teeny bit, though.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing some really good movement on both sides. These are some really good players here. Radiant Orb is a nice pickup. The final boss is weak to it, and it also helps out with one of the nastier checks. And there's Empire Orb! the only orb that'll ever be used ever again.
Mm-hmm.
Empire Orb, late game orb, everything is weak to punch. Not really, but it has such a high base damage that it will just destroy everything.
There's the gas mask. That'll become relevant once they defeat one of the 3 bosses here in the past. We'll see if it actually becomes relevant, depending on how they route things and what order they defeat the bosses in. But it is a progression item. So good to find.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those always good to find, just in case. Here we see...
Now Wef's going to check and see what's in the tower.
I guess you can clear out the entire left side, except for that one C check on the left. There is one that needs a C key card to get to. But I suppose he thinks it's quick enough, and he might assume correctly that WindFae went here.
Mm-hmm.
And now we'll see if that is important. Nah, just a costume. Gotta look fabulous, though. Yeah, Wef really hates the Varndegroth Tower. It's these vents, and it's kind of just nasty to route unless you have all the items that you actually need to get through here.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very vertical and snarly kind of pathing. And then we see Wef going back out and continuing on to...
Trying to decide where to go.
Castle.
I mean, they both just really need vertical, and not a lot of places left.
Wef's second guessing that and going back. Checking that map.
Third guessing himself.
Yeah. Not sure where he's going right now.
I think he's going to the underground lake area.
Right. Maybe use the free warp at the end of that route.
Mm-hmm.
This randomizer is very beginner-friendly. You may have noticed Wef looking at the map, and that's because the map tracker is actually built into the randomizer. You bring up the mini-map that is part of the normal game and hold attack, and it will show you the entire map, as well as highlight in orange places that might have an item for you. It says might, it's not a guarantee, but it's very nice.
Mm-hmm. And underneath the gameplay, it also comes with its own item tracker as well. Ooh,
that was a
water
smart
mask.
call for Wef.
Mm-hmm.
Water mask being down here means that some runners will just skip it for quite a while. There are some checks underwater here, and usually what runners will do is avoid this area till they have the water mask. Welcome to the randomizer, WindFox. I'm glad you're having fun with it. Wef is poisoned. Poison is a bit nasty in Timespinner. It does a percentage of your health, not a set number, and it will drain you down to your last bit of health. Got a cosmetic item for one of the familiars in the game. Ooh, jeez. Oh, God.
Uh-huh.
My heart.
Real close.
My heart. Wef, why are you doing this to me?
He doesn't even have Shadow Seal. Can't even blame Shadow Seal.
Mm-hmm. Check that map. And getting the warp back to the NPC village. And we have WindFae going and doing the same. Wow, they're thinking very similar. They're just slightly out of order with each other. Thinking that I've skipped this area down here so many times. What's the chances that what I need is down here? Because they're kind of limited on their progression options. Heading towards Lake Serene, not having the water mask or a double jump or time stop is there's not that many checks actually over towards Lake Serene.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I believe this is a pretty good decision to go back to this little underground area with the water checks. They do have a fire source, so that upwards pass is pretty tempting, but they don't have double jump. So if they want to go along the top, they have to go all the way under the lake and back across the top from the left side. Fire source is important because there are vines in the past that grow into very hard, impossible to pass routes in the present, and you have to burn them in the past to get through them. I saw Weff getting his favorite spell, Bombardment.
Yep, it's a good spell, but he already has Jin Inferno, so not even going to take the time to equip it.
Well, Weff will insist that on some bosses, Bombardment's actually better.
Yeah, he'll probably throw it on right at the end. Right now, it's just go, go, go.
Seeing a check inside one of those pedestals, but then not getting it. Hopefully he remembers later on when checking the map. Oh, right there. That's the first piece of the Timespinner, part of what they need for Go mode.
Yep, they will need all 3 gears. They will need the Timespinner spindle and the wheel, the item that actually allows them to stop time. This is a game about stopping time and time travel.
Sometimes it's the last piece you get.
Yep. They will need the security keycard D and the B security keycard and some form of vertical movement. Once they have all of that, they are in Go mode.
Mm-hmm. They do have the D key card and one gear. Weff going up against the Azure Queen, technically optional in the randomizer, but she does block a few places, so might as well, since you're up here. With the small amount of divergences, I would say that Weff and WindFae are basically the same progression here. Interesting. Weff, I think, is going to check that one fire check really quick here. Get crown for it. Tried to equip it, but then mismenued, so gave up on that. And going back into the Caves of Banishment. Or not.
Maybe.
Or yes. Or... Weff, figure out what you're doing.
This is hard to commentate. We're not mind readers.
Okay. Probably fire checks now.
Yes.
Alright. WindFae teleported back. Looks like to get the water check here in the waterfall area. Oh!
Oh, that paid off.
That waterfall,
no.
that waterfall has screwed over many a runner, and yeah, they were actually just talking about waterfall in the pre-race room. I'm wondering if Weff will remember.
All right, so we're going to see some route divergence here.
Yeah, WindFae now has infinite vertical movement. That means she can completely complete this whole castle area. And since you have to do it anyway, she's heading there right now. She is missing anything pink. So there's one check that she won't be able to get.
Yeah, but it's one check. Come on. Can't be anything important.
Okay, Wef's doing fire checks. Since when has Ilana's room have anything, really?
Yeah. We switch to WindFae's audio here as she is approaching
a boss.
Yep, the first of the 3 bosses you have to beat in the past.
We'll see if these fire checks pay off for Wef. WindFae using her favorite orb, the Wind Orb. And switching over to Bombardment for the Golden Idol fight. The Golden Idol here is weak to bashing in his second form. In the first form, it was weak to Sharp, which is what Wind Orb is.
Ooh, and Wef finds security keycard B, which is required.
Ooh.
And opens up a couple checks and is going to push him probably towards checking those right now. Especially with the elevator keycard as well.
He needs that verticality, though. What's he gonna do? I don't think he knows.
Is he doing one out of the way check? No.
No, I think he mispicked.
Okay.
WindFae made short work of the Golden Idol and is moving on to the second area that has a required boss. Up at the top of this tower is a Lana, one of the required bosses for endgame. In the present is a location with 3 lasers that only go away when you've killed 3 bosses in the past. WindFae also picked up Shadow Seal, a real good ring there.
Ups your damage as your health gets lower, and damage multiplier goes quite high, so it is a favorite amongst runners. High risk and high reward. Ooh,
there's a spindle. Alright then. WindFae trying to get a Chaos Stole, I think.
Does she have the filigree clasp?
No.
I don't know if she saw that or not. Okay.
I figure, they give pretty good experience at this point. It's worth a few shots. And there's kind of been a lot of Chaos Stoles in these randos. She just got the clasp. Before the spindle.
Okay. Alright.
Thank you, WindFox.
See that trying a couple times then? That kind of makes sense.
Might as well. Is right there. And it really is a good boost. They haven't found Sellen's Bangle, so it's... I could see it being worth a few seconds. Wef checking all the weird stuff in Varndegrey Metropolis here. This area down here in the slimy water is one of those areas that you kind of just leave for the end, usually. Got pink option. Still hurting on that verticality, though. There's one other option for Wef if he does not check Waterfall, and that is Light Wall. It's a spell that you can stand on after casting it, and it technically gets you everywhere that the sash gets you, but just takes a lot longer. WindFae using her strats with the Shadow Seal by getting damaged a whole bunch on her way to the boss. Please don't die. Already in desperation, wow. There you go.
And there is Light Wall.
And the wheel.
So both those are behind Sash, behind Waterfall checks.
Oof. This is going to be rough for Weff.
Yep.
The only other verticality is double jump, and that doesn't really get you everywhere. And now WindFae going back to finish off the last of the 3 bosses that are required. Looks like the gamble did not pay off for Weff, though he did get the B key card. That was in fire checks, right?
Yes, pretty sure.
Now Weff is also going to the Maw. I really hope he did not forget about that waterfall.
I think he did, considering he's going in here. He knows going in here without any form of vertical movement abandons 6 checks. So
That's just
we
rough,
don't
man.
like to do it.
That's rough. He also got the pendulum, but neglected to... Okay.
Oh, and there's one of them. It's a gear. So it is
And he
required as well.
cannot get to Jackpot Room. Jackpot Room had something. Yeah, that's fair, Mark. It's just Waterfall has screwed him over before. Surprised he hasn't metagamed himself. Weff doing a save and quit strat.
Yep, just going down, checking to see what those 2 items are. If it's not worth it, it's faster to save and quit if you don't have any double jump or celestial sash.
Unfortunately, these checks he's abandoning are required.
Mm-hmm.
And also this one here, WindFae's checking, just has the second cutest familiar in the game. It's a very significant time gap here if Weff does not find Celestial Sash pretty much right after defeating the Maw. But even then, he's abandoned several checks here he'll have to backtrack to get. WindFae putting stuff back on Lunaeus. WindFae likes to strip Lunaeus naked so she gets damaged more going through on the way to a boss so that Shadow Seal does more damage. And that's the Maw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, WindFae is just looking for the last gear, and she still needs to find security key card B, which we know where it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then she is in go mode.
All right. Now where? I think she's probably going to try to run for lab.
Mm-hmm.
Because technically she can get there. She has to go up and over the tower.
No, she doesn't have keycard C.
Oh, right.
She can't get over there.
Can't.
Mm-hmm.
She probably forgot that just like I did. She needs something else. This stair climb without any sort of vertical is just real rough for Weff.
Mm-hmm.
Got WindFae heading to the Azure Queen. Possibly fire checks.
He is asking himself, where is the vertical movement?
Mm-hmm.
And he is about to find it, and
he's gonna be
real
so
bad.
mad. He's gonna be so mad about this. Not again. Yeah.
Yep.
Bonked her head a couple times for good measure.
Uh-huh.
All right. Oh, tablet. Yeah. That was one of the checks Weff did have to abandon in fire checks as well.
Oh, yeah, I missed that. Okay.
Tablet was that one chest you can't get during the fire route on the Upper Lake Serene in the past. Could be nothing, but it has a lot of downloadable content on it that might be a 3D printed gear for you.
Mm-hmm.
Good to find before going to the lab. WindFae, however, is going to finish out fire checks by going and killing the Azure Queen, and then warping to the present to finish up that area. When she gets the B key card, she might run for lab, because you can go along the bottom at that point. Ah, she's checking downloads in the library first. She does have V keycard. So that means she can clean out the library here.
Yeah, this is a nice cluster of checks, all very close to one another. Not that far from
Ooh.
a warp.
So double jump was locked behind Sash.
Mm-hmm.
Because all verticality was locked behind Sash. Wow. That waterfall was really required. That's nasty. Got Weff checking the pink room. See if there's anything in here. There usually is not, and there was not. Unfortunately, that could have saved it for Weff. I think he's got a lot of ground to make up for.
Mm-hmm.
Because WindFae is definitely going to find the B key card here soon. Or just getting the warp and Skellington?
Yeah, just checking what Skeleton has.
I can't imagine her going further. Yeah, they don't have the A key card. What am I talking about? There's the filigree clasp for Weff, as long as the spindle. Stocking back up on warp shards. Usually if you're in the area of the Merchant Crow, there's only 2 locations for him. It's always good to stock back up on warp shards.
Mm-hmm. Feels real bad to run out when you're still trying to clean up the last couple checks around the map.
There's that B key card. Okay, she didn't abandon that last check. I would have been mad if she abandoned this chest here. She's done that before, though. She's gone halfway through somewhere, gotten something good, and abandoned it, and it did win her the run against Satellite the other day. Yeah, it looks like she's probably going for lab. She's got tablet. She has to go to the lab anyway.
Mm-hmm. And lab is always money.
Always. I wonder how mad Weff is now that he realized Sash was required for all of the verticality.
Literal steam coming out of his ears right now.
Got to see a little Easter egg there. WindFae got the cutscene that was put into the game to remind you that, yes, the Timespinner is in this tower. Please do not go all the way back to the beginning when you're playing this for the first time in vanilla.
You have the wheel, you have the spindle, you have everything you need.
Please do not leave. It's so painful to watch on Twitch. That's fair, Crimdall. It's just those areas that he had to abandon I'm worried about, where we know that gear is down in Varndegroth's, not the Varndegroth, the Maw's area.
Yeah, in Jackpot Room.
Next time, Bodhi, you'll design it perfect. No flaws at all in Timespinner 2. It is fun that they are basically in the same place heading to the lab here. Unfortunately, Weff does not have the tablet, which was in that one chest he had to abandon in Firecheck area in the past. So, could be fine. It could be that tablet has nothing. Mm-hmm. Or, it could be we're downloading a car. There it is!
Well, there we go. Okay.
I think that means WindFae's gonna hit go mode right here.
Yep.
Yep. Lab, or at least path to lab, is always money.
Mm-hmm. So she is done doing additional checks.
That she's got good gear, she's got good orbs, Nether Orb and Empire Orb. She does not need anything else. She has Sash. Probably not checking anything else. Got Shadow Seal.
Yep,
I'd be
Weff
surprised.
Still has to do checks.
Mm-hmm.
Looking for the last gear, which he will not find.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
yes,
the gear.
Last one.
Yeah, the gear he's missing is in the present Upper Lake Serene, that one chest you need at least double jump to get.
No, that's where Tablet is. It's in Jackpot.
Oh, right.
Room.
Oh, yeah, Jackpot Room. Looks like Tablet was useless. Gear was in Jackpot, yep. Everyone remembered except me. Luckily, that's easy enough to go to from here, but I don't think Weff would. I think he's gonna go... His normal route would be to check the first few areas of the tower after the lab.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he would have to be omniscient to make that play.
Mm-hmm. It is a fast enough check going back to it, but it's just the routing didn't work out for him.
Waterfall checks bite him again.
He may metagame realizing when WindFae ends her run that it can't possibly be in Dad's tower. WindFae picked the stronger of the two options heading into the true ending, because the pink option is weak to Empire Orb, which is already real powerful. Right, we'll get to see a little bit of the tower here, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm. And WindFae is heading into the final area, the Ancient Pyramid. There are a couple checks left in here. No point in checking them almost ever in the randomizer, since you're already in go mode to get here.
I think it was Hardcover who had Celestial Sash in Regret Chest, or Vanilla Celestial Sash.
Yep, on the very first time playing.
Yep, that was rough. No showing off on WindFae's side. There is a skip you can do there to prevent the long climb up from the bottom of that pit. But if you have Celestial Sash, you don't need to do it. But some people in this community like to show off sometimes. Do you know anyone like that, Waffle? Yeah,
I do it all the time because I need to practice it for the New Game Plus speedrun. WindFae not even taking the save. Doesn't want to heal up from Shadow Seal strats. But,
that's fair enough.
If she actually does die here, she goes back a long way. She also did not save before Volterolus.
Ooh,
that was real close.
Whew, my heart. Okay. Oh god. Don't psych yourself out, WindFae. Okay. Oh, Wef's going back to Jackpot Room.
Oh, all right. Great.
Eventually. He'll get there. Looking at the commentary. The stream is a bit behind what we can see in the running room, and yeah. This was bit of a troll seed, I would say. We're seeing some new tech from WindFae here. You can have up to 6, actually up to 9 light walls with some orb swipping. But let's get that exclamation points in chat. WindFae with a official time of 39 minutes and 20 seconds.
GG's, what a good run.
Mm-hmm. Switch over to Wef so we have some better music than whoosh. We'll see if Wef does the same tactic on Nightmare at the end. Really close, and Wef was on his way to Jackpot Room when WindFae won. So it was really close there. Wef made some good routing decisions, and would have, if WindFae had died, Wef would have had a chance.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't know when WindFae last saved. Definitely before Voltolaris, for Genza. They would have been a way back. It would have been real rough.
Well, there is that one save point at the start of this area.
Oh yeah, maybe she did hit that.
Not sure, though. Yeah, Wef might do Bombardment because Bombardment is a valid strat. Nightmare's got a big ol' hitbox, gets all of the shotgun shells in his face. Real good. Yeah, we were scared for you too, WindFae. That was a scary moment for all of us. Gained a few gray hairs. Wef's saving, because why not? Setting up his economizer bombardment. Or economizer light wall. Interesting. Set up light wall on 2 of his loadouts. Gonna do both.
Bombardment Sandman and light wall for Nightmare. I do enjoy that we're still finding new tech for this game. With the recent discovery of breaking the 3 light wall limit.
It helps to have the developer of the game actively interested in the randomizer, giving us hot tips on how it's programmed. WindFae!
Hello.
That was scary. Why did you do that to us?
Because I forget that Shadow Seal doesn't affect the game.
Yeah, you can't see it right now, but Wef does have 6 light walls stacked on top of Nightmare.
Nice. I tried doing that too.
It's new tech. You'll get used to it. How about that waterfall check blocking every single other piece of vertical movement?
And exclamation points for Wef.
GG's.
I was joking with Wef right before the race, and I was like, can't be another waterfall check that's required, right? And then like I got water mask and went over to that left teleport and was like,
You
I
know
need
what?
to check waterfall.
You got
Uh-huh.
water mask. You're like, what's the chance? It's a real quick check.
It's 2 chests, so it's not like the worst.
It's just so awkward.
It is.
Yeah, Weff went and did fire checks first, and that's what kind of gave you an edge there.
And did almost everything else too. That was one of the last checks he did, actually.
Dang.
Water
I thought I had V card when it was V card too, and so I started going to the lab. I was like, I'm good to go, and I was like, that's slightly off color. Oh, that's V card. Oh no.
Oh no! Hey, Weff!
That was scary for a moment.
How about that joke you did about waterfall? Yeah.
I don't
cursed.
understand. I don't understand.
I was joking about it before, and then as soon as I hit water mask, I was like, I gotta go check that out, don't I?
If I would have checked it, I probably would have finished like so freaking long ago. I got nothing in all of the things that didn't require sash.
Mm-hmm.
There was literally sash was required to get every other thing in the seed.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. It was
Sash
not
was blocking every single other piece of verticality, including double jump.
Yep. Now, where was double jump?
Oh, I forget.
good. Was it? No, I was thinking it was the room that I hate now. That was.
Was it in one of those weird rooms that you have to abandon if you don't have double jump in the fire checks?
I don't.
V card room.
It was in V card room. Where was the tablet?
Oh,
It
that
was in the check you had to abandon in Upper Lake Serene fire area.
Great.
So
That
in the long
one
run-
chest. That one chest.
I mean, the whole time I'm doing that, I'm like, well, even if WindFae finds vertical before me, at least I'm doing all of this other stuff that she is going to have to do. One of these things, she's going to have to do one of these things. And it turns out she didn't have to do any of those things.
No.
I
It was
really
a fun seed. And Weff, you were on your way to that last gear when WindFae finished, so you guys were very close despite that routing difference.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
I
saw
mean,
that you were there, and I was like, oh.
I'm just, I should have just gone to the waterfall. I don't know why I didn't.
Yeah,
Right.
that waterfall's burning so many people.
Yeah, I've learned to check all those tiny ones because if it's not there, then I'll be surprised at this point.
Yeah, it's, I've 4, what is it, four seeds I've played, 3 of them, waterfall has been required. That specific chest in the waterfall has been required.
That's so wild.
And it's
This
just
one
like,
was
there's nothing,
really required.
there's nothing like about it in the logic that makes it like any more required than any other chest in the overworld, except for it requires water mask to get.
That's it.
There's no
And
weighted
like
spots.
water mask is hiding a lot of other stuff too.
No, aside from some starting logic, everything is weighted perfectly even.
Mhm.
That's what Journal likes us to think.
Yeah.
and the logic for where it places gas mask.
Yeah.
Also a little weird, but besides that, everything else is even.
Yeah, gas mask is one of those really weird ones that you can kind of soft lock yourself, but not really. Anyway. Hi,
Yeah,
Daddy.
no.
Yeah, that Sash location.
Just I did basically everything.
Mm-hmm. We were talking. Me and Waffle were talking. It's like, well, if any of these other checks has something, then Weff has a chance. And then
Nope.
it didn't.
Nothing. There was nothing that wasn't hidden behind Sash.
Mhm.
That's a really good time though for like checking absolutely everything though, because I skipped a good chunk of stuff. Like I got that Sash and just immediately went for Alana because I was like,
Yeah.
I just want to do the bosses, and Alana's tower was stacked.
It was.
Hmm
It
had-
had spindle
what?
here.
It had the wheel.
Mhm. Light wall.
I
Yeah.
was just like, okay, this is just everything now.
Yeah. It was kind of mad at myself for not going and checking waterfall, but that ends the breaks, I guess.
It's just those routing decisions. Either it plays out or it doesn't, and it just happened to decide that this one chest in the waterfall area is apparently the place to put things.
Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know why. There's got to be a reason.
Yarno probably snuck in and changed things while we weren't looking. Even though you didn't download any new versions, he somehow managed to update everyone's versions.
He figured it out.
Hackerman Jarno got into everyone's games.
You know, you do have to tell the virus protection that it's not a virus. We've all given Yarno complete control of our computers now.
True.
Gave him that big old back door. Thanks, Mark.
Yep. Alright, well that was really fun to watch. Both of you have really good movement through all these areas, and even with that routing decision, Wef, you were right behind WindFae, and WindFae almost died to Sandman, and hadn't saved in a while.
Oh, jeez.
I did hit that save at the beginning of the time break.
Okay.
Okay, good. I wasn't sure I missed that.
But even
If I
then,
didn't hit that, then my last save before that was probably at like 20 minutes in.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta finesse it. You gotta like get Linnaeus's toe to like touch the save point, but like don't heal yourself all the way. That's
yeah, there's some finessing.
Almost killing Lunaeus right before Sandman for no reason. You get a heal before a Nightmare, and that's what I really want the damage for, because you just gins it up.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
Yeah.
I wanna...
It was a little scary watching. And if you had died, Wef might have caught up. It was real close.
yeah. I got to. Did I do it in this seed? The time stop strats? No, because I had Empire Orb. But,
Mhm.
yeah. I don't know. Just really bummed.
Mm.
You did get to show off the newly discovered more than 3 light wall.
Yeah.
It's hard
I
to
did.
tell.
It is really hard to tell what's happening because all the light walls are stacked on top of each other, but you can have more than 3 light walls on the screen at once.
Mhm.
All right, thank you both so much. Anything else you'd like to add about the seed?
I had fun, but it was a pretty mean one at the very start. There was not a whole lot.
Yeah. Yep. That's about how I feel.
Everything was behind water mask, behind Celestial Sash.
Yeah, and Water Mask was like right there, and I was like, okay, cool. I have fire and water. Let's go do that stuff. Okay, cool. Let's do this. And I kind of was like, what do I just go to? Do I dip the Maw Cave now? Do I like? Is this what is real life right now?
What is even happening?
How am I getting nothing out of any of these checks?
Yeah, great race. Thank you so much, both of you. Congratulations, WindFae, moving on. Wef, you put up a good fight, and looking forward to see other competitions with our randomizer. I think it'd be fun to run more of these.
Yeah, I just got to sign up for some comms now.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, SpeedGaming Live, for hosting us. Thank you, Waffle, for joining me on comms.
Thank you for having me.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, comms in general.
And we'll see you all in the next one. I believe the next one is tomorrow, hopefully. And just check that schedule. Take care, everyone.
Best of
Bye.
luck.